How do you see the current evolution of the automotive industry in terms of new technology adoption?
When I talk about car IT, what kind of technologies now we see are, the gesture control is coming significantly important. Other technologies like telematics is picking up, digital twin is inevitable, autonomous driving will kind of culminate many of the technologies. In essence, I would expect one day the cars will have its own intelligence, emotions, and no personality. And whatever we would see in the movies or like cars, it's I won't be surprised if this will be a reality in some time. When we talk about customer IT, it's a little bit different again. Here, how we drive the customer interactions matter. The customer comes to us, from different channels, and it's important that we provide seamless experience to each of this customer. And the ease and convenience remains the main focus of this, this space. So technologies like marketing tech and data analytics primarily here, or the technologies which would drive the lot of changes. We also operate in a heavily here in the API economy because customer experience has a spectrum which is much bigger than just our own world. Simply a WhatsApp integration or integration with their mobiles or the devices, and so much of API economy that comes into the picture now. And cloud is also another important aspect. I would say when I think of a customer IT, the cloud is also playing a significant role, especially that the experience and the ease matters the most here. The third part is the production IT. Here, of course, AR, VR is becoming prominent in the production and operations. Visual analytics is another big important topic for us, especially the quality aspects. Of course, robotics and blockchain also being explored currently to ensure the seamless integration, especially in the supply chain area.
How are you driving the changes for Mercedes-Benz India?
We have this journey going on, but if I just look at last 4 years, what we have done is we have about 4 years back we started a initiative called BCE, which means a best customer experience. This is where the focus is in a customer IT. The whole effort was to provide seamless interactions with the customer, both online and offline, and also when the customer moves across the value chain. We introduced many products which are like car configurators or the financing options for the customer to decide on easily and more. So this is purely on focusing on a customer experience part. Then we had a next journey to really transform our foundational systems. So typically we think of segregating foundational systems and experience systems aside, and the second phase was to really transform the foundational systems. And the last year, or I would say probably it's like epitome of the transformation for us in terms of technology, digital technologies. We transformed all our business process to enable the direct to customer business model, which means we actually sell today cars direct to the customer, which is kind of disruptive in automotive industry, and first time in India somebody did this. And I would say we have successfully took that step by now, and we are now in the process of really moving to the next step, which includes transforming the retail landscape. That would be our focus now. How do we transform our franchise partners level networking, and also how do we drive the further full integration, because that's going to be the key differentiator in the future, that how you make the whole journey seamless and simple.
Data analytics is impacting businesses more than any other technology. How do you think it can be leveraged for maximum benefit?
Today, data is creating opportunities to optimize your cost, but also to monetize the data. And there is a value to it. Of course, it has to be a responsible usage, which which we all have to figure out, in due course. But that gives us a new economic opportunities. In my mind, data also has a different expression. It's something similar to like Akshay Patra, what we call in our ecosystem, right? Because data is something where you keep using it, nothing happens, it just keep coming, it's not gone. As the data comes together, you have more sense in the value out of it. So it has different expressions. When we put this data, especially in the automotive industry, car and a customer data combined together, it's really a huge value, and it more or less touches every business process across the industry. What we also use today, data is not just for measuring the results. That's sure, that's required, that will be there, your KPIs and etc. But now we also use the data as to how we steer the business, right? So we call this NBA, NBO. There are different expressions. Again, NBA means next best action, or NBO means what's the next best offer that we can have. So across the value chain of the organization, there's no these kind of initiatives are possible with the data today. So one thing is, if we are able to use data intelligently and most importantly responsibly, there are many benefits. Even this has it creates the possibilities in to influence the society. Like when we talk about topics like sustainability and other things, this is also now being driven by the insights, or that we get through the data. So operations, your innovation, even in the society, these no and then there are many dimensions. So the data is really most crucial part in the in automotive industry, for that matter. Honestly, this is true with many of the industries today.
How do you see the automotive manufacturers evolving in the future in terms of new technology adoption? And how do you plan to keep Mercedes-Benz India traversing the IT adoption curve?
Automotive industry is definitely undergoing a huge transformation today. At all levels, I would say, at a product level, how the products are coming out. At operations level, again, how you visualize your production operations, and also at a sales level. So all three levels, there is a huge transformation that's happening. And in this journey, digital technologies have a significant role to play. When you're redefining your processes in this auto industry, or defining when you're really designing your products, things are heavily influenced by these digital technologies. Today we talk about connected car, right? When we think about connected car or the telematics around it, it's not just a car connecting between, the interaction is not just limited to a car and a customer. It's now going between car and car, and in the future car and the infrastructure, and it goes on. So we more or less term this today as car to X. So this means the interactions, the connected environment is going to establish across. So car becomes one of the connected device, and it has, like as I said, it has its own personality and interactions and intelligence and all that. We also today think, will we have a separate operating system for automotive industry? Do we need that? Like the smartphones and other things have got, and they have their own operating system because it needed, but those operating systems also have a limitation. They are designed keeping that particular environment. Now when we talk about all these smart devices, especially the ones like automotive industry, the cars, maybe this needs its own your core intelligence. That's operating system. Topics like robo suits are also transforming now the operations part. So how we really how the workforce will be operating in the organization, in the production environment. So when we had topics like corona, we still have to bring people into the operations. But if we already see these prototypes today, you wear the a robo suit, and more or less remotely you can do some of these operations which we thought it's not possible sitting at home, right? This is already happening today. Which, I just recently happened to see a good prototype on the robo suit. So it's this is going to change. Think about even the third space of customer interactions or customer IT. We already today see the metaverse is catching up big thing, and this becomes a new space, and not just metaverse. Maybe there will be more virtual worlds that we will have. This is a new space where your customers are going to be there, and you need to have open up the channel to start interacting with the customers. I can imagine going forward, probably we start selling cars there in the virtual world, potentially a virtual car, but it's not a simple virtual car, but it's a digital twin of your physical car. And also we see a lot of governments and other things are slowly opening up to this kind of a space. So a lot of things are happening in all different spaces, and and it's going to have a significant transformation in the automotive industry. And I would say we are going to have an exciting journey ahead.